Hey, welcome on the spot. Today I'm here with Chrissy, who is a fitness mindset coach, right? Is that right?
Yes, that is
Yes.
right.
And she's from New York. So the floor is yours, Chrissy. Go and introduce yourself and go from there.
Hi, I'm Christy. Super happy to be on today. So I'm a health, fitness, and mindset coach. Live in New York City, originally from Munich, but call New York my home for 8 years now, and I love it.
Yeah. So what's the difference between Munich and New York so far? What do you see a difference?
I think there's a big cultural difference in terms of people being super open-minded and warm in New York. Regardless of what people say, New Yorkers are super, super nice. So, and I love how sunny it is all year round, sunshine. Even when it's cold in winter, it's just always sunny, and I love that.
Nice, nice. So you wait for the questions and on the spot. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we'll go through them. Let me ask you this one. What are your thoughts on real estate market? You know, as far as New York and stuff, what do you think about real estate when you hear the word real estate? What do you think of?
What comes to mind is listing shows, like
Yeah.
top of mind, like selling OC, selling California, something like that. When it
Okay.
comes to New York, I feel like it is super interesting to see all different neighborhoods, like how different real estate looks, like if it's like a townhouse, if it's apartments, if it's smaller houses, like depending on the neighborhood. And I think that is really interesting about New York. But that is really it to that extent, more so watching the shows.
Gotcha. Cool. So reality TV, got it. So that's cool. You want to share a struggle that you went through?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I faced burnout. So basically my backstory is I worked myself up in a corporate world, got super successful, super young, worked for the largest marketing agency in New York City until I didn't function anymore and just everything was too much. And I kind of like had to deal with that for about 6 months. So I was completely out of commission. So the struggle there was to rebuild myself, rebuild my health and arrive where I am today. So I'm super proud of that and thankful for the struggle because it made me better.
Cool. Good one. Good thoughts. I didn't know you had a marketing background, all that. So that's cool. Um, what about a quote? You want to share us a quote?
Life is now. And another one, Paulo Coelho, one of my favorite writers of all time. One day you'll wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you always wanted. Do them now to kind of like remind everybody that we never know how long we have here on earth. So let's make the most of today.
Cool. Good one. Good thought. Let me ask you this about some of your mindset and all that, life, all that. What was the turning point that led you to become a mindset and happiness coach?
So I think like the pivotal moment for me really was the event of the burnout to realize what is really important in life, like
Hmm.
health, happiness, well-being. There's nothing that can buy that or bring it back to you when you don't have it. So that
Yeah.
was really my turning point where I was like, okay, corporate is done and on pause, and I want to build my own business and continue to help people find happiness and health no matter where they are right now. And I've been loving it so far.
Good. Good. Good answer. And let me ask you this: what are small daily habits that truly change your life?
I think a consistent sleep schedule. I know it's unpopular, but even on the weekends, I make it a habit to go to bed around the same time every single day
Hmm.
because we are kind of like robots and machines. We work and function best when we have a strict routine, and it starts everything with sleep. So I think a consistent sleep time is super, super helpful.
So, how many hours should we get sleep a day, and how many you get a day?
Definitely. So actually, women need 1 hour, roughly 1 hour more than men, interestingly enough. So
Yeah.
about 8 to 9 hours is to aim for. And for women, like nine is really like ideal. If you can get that on a consistent basis, you will turn into a superhuman
Hmm.
and really notice the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Good thoughts. Yeah. I'm probably around 6, 5. I should probably get more, but I shoot for that
So
7, 8
yeah,
if I can. Yeah. Okay.
that's a good starting point.
What about how has travel shaped your mindset and why you coach others?
So I'm a big traveler. I traveled over 35 countries and I love exploring different cultures, different surroundings, immerse myself in places I've never been where I don't speak the language, where I
Mhm.
don't have too much understanding of the cultural hurdles I would face. Because I
Yeah.
think the most important thing is to be human. So, like, to be open minded, to be appreciative, and speak the human language, even if sometimes we have a language barrier or like don't understand too much about the culture, just be open minded and understanding. And I love to teach that to others as well because you never know what the person like in front of you is going through. So always just act with compassion and be open minded.
Gotcha. What about this? What's something that people don't expect about the mindset journey?
I think when people really, really dive into the mindset, they underestimate the amount of confidence it will give them. Because if you really dig in and rewrite that narrative that is constantly playing in your mind, so like I call it an angel voice and a hater voice. So
Mhm.
like those two like positive and negative voices on our shoulders. And I feel like people underestimate the power they have given to that negative voice and the amount of time where they didn't listen to the angel voice. So really fostering that angel voice gives you incredible amounts of confidence, and it's just about rewiring the mindset, and it's super super powerful.
Cool. Good answer. Good thoughts. Let me ask you some of these questions. What's something you did in the pandemic that you didn't do before that you might have taken over from nowadays that you did before? Yeah.
What I did during the pandemic, what I didn't do now,
Yeah.
let me see. What did I start? I grew my own vegetables
Oh,
on
okay.
the roof. So that was really cool. Like not New York City like, but super
Huh.
hippie like.
Okay.
Um, I currently don't do that anymore,
Okay.
but it's a great habit. Grow your
Okay.
own veggies.
Okay. What about this? What's your dream car? And then what do you think about the EV cars? Have ex-
Great questions. My dream
yeah.
car is an Audi R8.
Okay.
I love the design, I think it's just a super hot car. And EV, I think it's really interesting. And I believe that that is part of the future and
Mhm.
will increase in importance down the road. So
Yeah.
super cool that there's so much development.
Okay. How about this? What age would you want to go back to and live at if you could go back in time? What age would you pick to live
Um,
at?
Honestly, right now,
Yeah.
I am super healthy. I'm super happy. And I'm so much wiser than when I was younger. So
Yeah.
I think just growing wiser, but staying young is the key. So not trying to go back in time.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, do you got a favorite field trip that sticks out to you that you did back as a kid? Do you remember?
That's a good one. I went to the north of Germany a lot, to the
Yeah.
seaside. It
Yeah.
was really cool, kind of like collecting mussels.
Oh, so
By the
beaches over there, huh? Nice
Yeah,
beaches.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nice beaches over there, and then like making the food, like collecting the food and then making it was super cool and memorable, and introduced my love to cooking that
Hmm.
I still keep today.
Okay. That's cool. So I'm guessing, are you from a millennial generation or what are you, Gen Z? What's your, your generation you're from?
Yeah, I'm kind of like right in between, more so millennial though, from
Okay.
mindset and stuff, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on like ChatGPT and the technology? And then now kids getting it. What do you think about all that we have at our grasp?
Definitely. I think it is super powerful. It gives us a lot of opportunity to develop things faster or to research things in a very detailed way
Uh-huh.
where we wouldn't have access to that before. But I think for the younger generations, it is important to educate them also about the risks because you never know like what they're researching or like how they're using it down the road. And I think it's just about education. But I think it is definitely important to use it and be super familiar with the new technologies.
Cool. Good answers. Good thoughts on that. Are you a Apple or Android person?
Apple.
Yeah.
Apple all the way. Yeah.
So when you see the green bubbles, what do you think of?
Uh, I honestly, I changed from being an Android
Okay.
maybe 3, 4 years ago. So I think I still have both sides in me. So
Yeah.
no like overjudgment when I see the green bubble. But
Gotcha.
now I can't imagine not having all my devices connected.
Okay. Cool. Let me ask you a movie question. What movie have you recently seen that was good or bad? Have you saw?
Really great question. I went to the movie last week for the first time in years.
Yeah.
I watched Sinners
Okay.
and it was
I saw that.
incredible. Right? What did you think? Like such an impeccable
I
movie.
saw it in 4DX. Did you see that one?
Ah,
That
I
was
don't.
where the sheets move and like there's like
Oh no, no,
yeah,
no.
little water splashes and stuff, and you hear air behind you when there's shootings. And on
Oh,
that
that is
steam
super cool.
train, there's steam in the bottom that fills up the bottom of the theater. So it's very when you're in cars, like your sheet shake. So it's like a simulation, but yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, yeah,
Super cool. Such a good movie. I guess
yeah,
4D has been even more uh crazy. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. How about this? You want to share like a tip of the week or success tip, business tip, maybe a life tip for our listeners?
Definitely. Let's do a life tip. I
Okay.
think super important now that it's springtime, people are more outdoors,
Yeah.
like really take advantage of that. So like
Hmm.
how to activate your cardiac rhythm is kind of like you go out in the morning, first
Hmm.
thing in the morning, even if it's for 10 minutes, and you look into the sun and you face your face towards the sun, just
Yeah.
sets you up. Your entire mood, your entire body is awakened, and you're powerful to start the day.
Cool. That's a good one. Like that. Outside. Everybody needs to go outside a lot more. Let me ask you this. Who do you want to sit down and eat with, dead or alive? If you could pick somebody, who would it be?
So many people come to mind. Let me
Yeah.
see how I pick one person.
You could do both if you want. Alive or dead if you want.
Alive or death? Dead. Pick. I will pick my grandfather who
Yeah.
passed. He passed when I was still a child, but now I feel like being older, I have so many questions for him. So I would love
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
with him. Yeah.
Okay. Good choice. If you're stuck on an elevator, who would you be stuck in an elevator with?
My boyfriend.
Yeah. Good choice.
He always has the solution for anything. So
Yeah.
if I would be in trouble, I want him there.
Cool. Let me ask you this. What advice would you give yourself at 12 years old?
Be incredibly confident and don't pay so much attention to what other people think. Just listen to what you want and what makes you feel good, and really foster that confidence and own personality.
Good one. Good answer. Okay. I don't know if you're homing or not, or renting, but what do you like about the city you live in? What do you like about New York?
I love about New York that it's constantly changing. There's always something you can do. There's anything you want to do, always at your fingertips.
Mhm.
So, like New York City, if you crave Vietnamese dumplings at 2 a.m., you can get them. And if you want some incredible brunch spot the next morning, you can do that too. So, I think like the constant changing and access to all cultures.
Cool. So if you weren't into the life of health and fitness for your job, what would you do for work?
Probably still marketing, but I'm happy for the change because now it is so much more holistic and healthy.
And what type of marketing was it that you did?
E-commerce, so like all of the big Sephora, skincare and makeup brands.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you play any video games or board games growing up? Do you have a board game that sticks out to you that you liked?
Yes, but all the German ones.
Yeah.
So it's called Mensch, ärgere dich nicht. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's something similar here.
It's like
That was
Monopoly. I don't know. Have you heard of Monopoly?
yes, Monopoly. I used to love playing as well. That's a good
Okay.
one.
Okay. Um, what about drink of choice? Do you have a drink that you like to order when you're drinking, or
Um,
or are you?
I like yerba mate and
Mhm.
matcha also.
Okay. Cool. How about do you want to share a guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure, sweet chili sauce. I love to add it just on basically anything. I love sweet chili sauce.
How about this? What's something on the bucket list that you want to do?
I want to, well, many things are on the bucket list. One thing, if it was vacation, is Bolivia.
Uh-huh.
There's a salt desert, Salar de Uyuni,
Yeah.
and it basically you walk the salt desert, and the sky is reflecting on the ground, so it's like a giant mirror, and people say it's like walking in heaven.
Okay. Cool. I gotta check that out. Let me ask you this. Nominate someone that'd be a good guest to be on the show. I can reach out to and be a good person I could put on here. Do you know anybody that comes to
Um,
mind?
yes, my best friend Mary
Mhm.
um, would be a good candidate to be on the
Okay.
show.
Cool. And then how do we follow you on social media and get in touch with you about life tips and fitness, all that, and health?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Chrissi Glow on Instagram.
Yeah.
Love to see your messages.
Yeah.
Always happy when people reach out how to
Okay.
improve their life, just how to be better and happier.
Cool. And then you got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Make the most of today. So wherever you're at right now, take a pause, take a moment to breathe, and just enjoy the beauty around you. Smile at somebody if you know that person or if you don't, and make the most of today.
Okay. So, if you have any real estate questions or want to have a consultation, reach out to me. Hard to find, and then but from on the spot, we're out of here.
Amazing.
All right.